Well, we're back right here in the studio, and I hope everyone out there is having a very nice evening. We have with us right now Dr. Farouk Kamoun. Dr. Farouk is a professor of computer science. Doctor, welcome to our program, Ya Hala Kuwait.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be in Kuwait today with you.
It's our pleasure to have you with us, and welcome to the state of Kuwait, and welcome to our studio also. Is this your first visit to the state of Kuwait?
The second visit. Actually, I visited Kuwait in the 80s. It was a long time ago. I had the opportunity to give a conference here on computer and the evolution of computers. And
well, it's a pleasure to have you with us now after almost 40 years.
Yes.
So how has Kuwait changed, and how have you seen it so far?
Of course, I haven't had much time to visit, but it seems from the hotel or from the driving to here that all these big changes and big roads and skyscrapers. And of course, I hear about Kuwait from Tunisia. We're not too far anyway. So there are a lot of development, and we're very happy that you really making really a lot of headways. And you have, I read a few things about Kuwait, and of course, all these programs, very interesting programs. Yeah.
Well, we're really happy to have you right here in the state of Kuwait, and congratulations, Dr. Farouk, on winning the award of His Highness Shaikh Salem Al-Sabah Informatics Award for Informatics for the year 2024. Can you tell our viewers what this award means to you, sir?
First of all, I'm very honored to receive this reward, this award for the achievement in the field of computers. And I'm here for that. And it means a lot because, you know, whenever you get a reward like this, it's of course it means that people or country or some agency recognize all the work you have been doing. That's either whether, and I had the opportunity to develop a certain number of things in Tunisia and throughout my research career, my teaching career, and also I had in my work in Tunisia, opportunities to work for the Tunisian government in developing policies and strategies in the IT field for more than 12 years as the head of the National Computing Center.
Well, congratulations on this very prestigious award. And
thank you very much.
Dr. Farouk, you are a well-known person in the field, professor of computer science in Tunisia, and you have significant research on the field of computer networking. You're one of the pioneers in the development of the internet in Tunisia, and for that matter, the Arab world. Can you please tell us more about your research and great work that you've been doing over the decades?
Yes, actually, it's a story how I ended up at UCLA after studying in France, in the French School of Engineering. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go to the States, and like all young people at that time, we all wanted to go to California. So one of the best universities in also in all fields and computer science was UCLA. So I went to UCLA, and after a year or so, everybody was so excited there about computer networks, the ARPANET project. And,
which we'll talk about a bit later on.
So I ended up working within the ARPANET project.
Great, great to hear
so
that.
that's how, those are the early days of my adventure with the ARPANET, which became later on the Internet. The ARPANET is the grandfather of the Internet, or the father.
And we'll get into that very shortly.
Yes.
Dr. Farouk, go ahead. You want to add something, sir?
No, what you want to know more about the ARPANET?
Very shortly, but first of all, tell our audience a little bit, sir, about your mentor, Leonard Kleinrock, and your great work together. I know you did a lot of research and a lot of work together. Shed some light on that for our audience, please.
Yeah, so when I was at UCLA, as I told you, there was all this excitement about computer networks, and the leader of that is Leonard Kleinrock, Professor Kleinrock, and he was one of the major contributors of the concept behind the development of Internet, or ARPANET. So many people call him father. He likes to be called one of the fathers, because, you know, sometimes there are few fathers, but he's really one of the founders of the concept, of the theoretical concept of the Internet. and he's also been very, very involved in the implementation. So the one thing I wanted to do is to join his team, because it was the major lab at UCLA in terms of computer networks, and I managed to join his team. And at that time, the ARPANET was a small network. But when I joined the team, the ARPANET was already launched. But it's a small network, and we worked together, and we found out that in order to increase the number of nodes or routers, like we say, to the switches, there are some difficulties. We had to develop new ideas in terms of how to do things for large networks. So my work focused on that, how to move from the small ARPANET to very, very large networks, millions and even billions of nodes, which we are in it now.
Which we're at right now.
So that was a contribution that's been one of the, that's in one foundations of some of the aspects, because ARPANET is too many things.
It's very wide, yes.
Very wide. So
and you've done a lot of great work.
So and then I followed on working on other aspects of communication and networking, mobile networking, ad hoc networking, vehicle networking, so many. I kept on with my students in Tunisia, following up on this kind of research area in the field of whatever is related to networking and networking field and its applications.
Well, it's really a pleasure and honor to have you with us right here on Hala Kuwait. And we mentioned now ARPANET a few times, so that's the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network and its development in the internet world. So you said something about it. Maybe you could shed a little bit more light, a little more detail about it for our audience, please.
Yeah, actually, there was, remember, in the late 50s, there was the Russian launched the Sputnik. This is the first engine in the air, the space, and the Americans got sort of found that they're probably getting behind in some of this technology. So they created this agency, ARPA, and they asked ARPA to really develop big project in order to develop new technologies. One of those main projects is the ARPANET network. And the idea is to connect major universities and other agencies so they can share all the computer power and they can share knowledge.
Excellent.
That was the main purpose. And also, one main characteristic, it has to be resilient. Even if there is a war, the network should never break down, which is true today.
Yes.
Internet never
still
breaks
stands
down.
like that, yeah.
So they developed this concept, and and the first node, so they had this big project, and the first node of the ARPANET, because as I told you, Professor Leonard Kleinrock, my advisor, was very much involved in this, even the design phase of this project. The first node was installed at UCLA.
Okay.
And the first communication was made in 1969 between UCLA and Stanford Research Institute. That was
about 55 years ago.
Yes, exactly, yes.
Okay. Amazing history there. And go ahead,
yes,
sir.
Yeah. That's the story about, and the ARPANET became DARPA, the ARPANET became Internet later on, because they changed the protocols, some of the protocols, and the name of Internet is one of the names of the protocol. So Internet means the intercommunication between networks.
Okay.
That's the main thing, because so networks with different technology, it could be land technology, wire technology, wireless technology, satellite technology, all this technology at that time we had to be able to work and send messages around. And also, when the key idea in the internet, all this really, I would say, one of the major revolutions in the IT is this kind of, is to communicate with small packets, like sending letters through the network. You put the address of somebody and you send it. It's quite different from when you have to use a wire communication and when you have a wire or part of the wire dedicated for you.
Amazing. So much great information and history there. And once again, Doctor, congratulations. and it was an honor to have you with us and on our program, Ya Hala Kuwait. Do you have any last words or comments for the audience watching the program this evening, sir?
Well, I'm really, first of all, again, I really feel very honored to receive this prize and to be here with you. I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to talk to your audience. And we are now getting to the second major revolution of IT, which is artificial intelligence. We have to look forward for all kinds of exciting things, and maybe not too exciting, we'll see.
We'll
Thank
see how
you
it
very
goes.
much.
You have to visit us again to
Yes.
talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
And I know the awards ceremony is tomorrow, and
Yes.
we wish you all the best of luck, you and all the participants. Once again, congratulations, and thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We'd like to
hosting
thank
me.
our pleasure. We'd like to thank our distinguished guest, Dr. Farouk Kamoun, Professor of Computer Science, for joining us right here on the program. Right now, we're going to take a short break and come up with our next report. Stay tuned.